Good afternoon. Here is the national news from BGI TV, Gbajabiamila TV. I am Sanuto Lakomi Ajikade. First here the major headlines for the national news. Naira note swap. I would have signed warrant for Emefiele's arrest. Gbajabiamila expresses regret. Naira redesign was aimed at causing riots to shift election, says Wike. Stop for naira scarcity now, Yoruba monarch tells federal government. Governor Lalong dismisses claims of Plateau being under control of herdsmen. Ogun State, Abiodun to swear in 8 newly appointed judges tomorrow. PSC promotes 3 AIGs, suspend elevation of 8 CPs. And lastly, on sports. Manchester United, Chelsea, PSG battle to sign Osimhen. Now hear the news in details. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, on Sunday expressed his regret for not signing a warrant for the arrest of the Central Bank of Nigeria Governor, Godwin Emefiele. Gbajabiamila also said that the House would have no option but to reconvene before this month's general elections if the CBN failed to address the hardship Nigerians face because of the currency swap policy. He said the House would have continued to monitor the CBN's implementation of the policy closely after the Green Champers meeting with Emefiele on the issue. Speaking during a town hall with some ethics group in Surulere, Lagos State, Gbajabiamila said the House of Representatives intervened on several occasions. We summoned the CBN governor the first time and again, but he refused to answer because we had many hard questions for him. It was until I issued that the threat of warrant of arrest before he came to see me, and I would have signed that warrant. It would have been the first time in the history of National Assembly that a CBN governor would be arrested. I would have done it. He added many have argued on the independence of CBN, the autonomy of CBN that doesn't make Central Bank of Nigeria above the law. The Rivers State Governor, Nyesom Wike, has alleged that the move of the Central Bank of Nigeria to redesign naira notes was aimed at causing riots in the country. Wike, who spoke on Saturday during a campaign in the Opobo Nkoro local government area of the state, alleged that the aim was to cause crises which would lead to the postponement of the February and March elections. The governor alleged that there would be plot by some persons in power to scuttle the election and introduce an interim government. He urged Nigerians to remain calm despite the hardship emanating from scarcity of the newly redesigned naira note, insisting that the election must not be shifted. He said the policy is targeted at making people angry, so they will demonstrate and riot, and then the election will be postponed again. Then they will introduce an interim government. No matter the provocation, don't protest. Wike cautioned the people of the state. This election we hold. This election is by the PVCs. This election is not an election of cabals. It is an election of the Nigerians. Yoruba traditional ruler under the aegis of Yoruba Obas Forum has condemned the continuous scarcity of premier mortal spirit across the country, telling the federal government to intervene in the growing crisis immediately. The monarch, rising from their meeting at the weekend in Ibadan, Oyo State, also described the scarcity of the currency due to the naira redesign as appreciating on business in the rural area, warning the federal government of imminent crisis nationwide if the situation is not nipped in the bud. The monarchs, in a statement jointly signed by the forum's president and the secretary, the Molokun of Artillery, Oba Samuel O. Adeoye, and Olukotun of Ikotuile, Oba Dr. Abdulrazak Adebayo, made available to newsmen in Osogbo by the administrator, Elerimo of Erimo, Oba Dr. Michael Odunayo Ajayi, decried the current difficulties encountered by their people in getting the new naira note, as well as non-availability of the currency, while recommending an immediate resolution to the hardship by the government. According to the traditional rulers, whose domain called across the southwest state and some north-central central state, We are using the medium to call on the government to urgently find an immediate and lasting solution to the current hardship facing the entire people of Nigeria through the scarcity of petroleum products and non-availability of new naira notes. The governor Simon Lalong has debunked the insinuation being held by some people that some villages have been taken over by X-Men in the state and the government has not done anything about it. The governor stated it at the interdenominational church service to commemorate the 2023 Plateau Day of Forgiveness and Reconciliation held at St. Monica's Catholic Church in Ratia, Jos. He stated that there is no report on his table that any village has been taken over, adding that the government took proactive steps to prevent such from happening by passing and signing into law the anti-land grabbing law in 2020. By this law, anyone whose land has been forcefully taken is expected to right to be its traditional ruler, the local government chairman and elected representative, or even the appropriate court directly for redress. So far, no one of any community has done so. Rather, some people sit here in their homes and elsewhere to engage in politics and blackmail. I want the world to know that what we have been doing is returning displaced persons who fled their homes due to attack back to their ancestral lands. The Ogun State Governor, Gbajabiamila, has approved the appointment of 8 new judges into the state judiciary. The appointment is secret to the recommendation of the National Judiciary Commission at its 100th meeting held on January 18, 2023, and in accordance with the provision of Section 271, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999. A statement issued this Sunday in Abeokuta by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Mr. Kunle Shomorin, noted that the new judges' appointment is based on the seniority, competence, and track records. Those to be sworn in at the ceremony stated for the June 12 Cultural Center, Abeokuta, according to the Shomorin, include the Chief Registrar, High Court of Justice, Ogun State, Oluwafunke Omolara Odunbayo, Chief Magistrate, Ogun State, Judiciary, Awofeso Ireti Olu Babatunde, Deputy Chief Registrar, High Court of Justice, Ogun State, Adelaja Adeola Ireti, Solicitor General and Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice, Ogun State, Gbajabiamila Adedapo, and Secretary, Judiciary Service Commission, Ogun State, and Basirat Bolanle Adewale. Others are Ayodele Adebayo and others, a private legal practitioner also based in Lagos State. The appointment, the statement further stated, is part of the administration's effort to reposition the state judicial system for more effective, efficient, and quick dispensation of justice across the state. The Police Service Commission has approved the appointment of 3 Assistant Inspector General of Police to the rank of Deputy Inspectors of Police. In a statement on Sunday by the Commission's Head of Press and Public Relations, Ikechukwu Ani, the promotion of 8 commissioners of police to the rank of Assistant Inspector General was suspended. This is because the CPs failed to appear before it for the mandatory promotion interview. As part of an effort to fill up the leadership vacuum in the Nigerian police force, the Police Service Commission has approved the appointment of 3 Assistant Inspector General of Police to the rank of Deputy Inspector General of Police, the statement partly read. The new DIGs are expected to fill the vacant duty post created owing to the retirement of 3 DIGs, representing the North, Central, Northeast, and Northwest geopolitical zones. And lastly, on sports. Manchester United and Chelsea are both keen of signing Napoli striker Victor Osimhen next summer and may have to quote Spain Paris Saint-Germain to get their man, according to the Sun. The paper writes they will be prepared to break the British transfer record of 107 million euros they have just set for Enzo Fernandez in order to land Osimhen. The striker at 24 is said to be one of the most in-demand players in the next transfer window. Manchester United and Paris Saint-Germain are among the clubs also in the hunt for Osimhen, whose 14 goals in the 16 Serie A games ascent to Napoli to the top of the table. The Italian giant don't want to lose their stars man, but are confident of generating a high-stake auction for a player who will have 2 years left on his contract in the summer. And that concludes the national news for this hour. But before we go, here are some of the major headlines once again. Naira no swap. I would have signed warrant for Emefiele's arrest. Gbajabiamila expresses regret. Naira redesign was aimed at causing riot to shift election, says Wike. Stop for Naira scarcity now, Yoruba monarchs tells federal government. Governor Lalong dismisses claims of Plateau being under control of S-men. Ogun State, Abiodun to swear in 8 newly appointed judges tomorrow. To join us on all our social media handles, on Facebook as Gbagedemo with Alawi at Debayo, please follow the page and share the page. And on Instagram as Gbagedemo_22. Please follow the page and share the page as well. And on YouTube as Baba Gbagedemo TV. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn your post notification bell. For your advert, please call the number displaying on the screen. Thanks so much for always watching our news on BGI TV. I am Sanit Olakomi Ajikade. Bye for now.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.